Hey, what's up guys? Hope everyone's been good. You know, sometimes I wonder if the never-ending pursuit of money is just an underlying excuse to subconsciously give meaning to our existence. That's a hook right there. So when it comes to money and happiness, the only two narratives we hear is that either money doesn't buy happiness or obviously money does buy happiness. And I used to think about this a lot, and I still do. And I've come to the conclusion that they're both wrong. Now it's obvious why 90% of people would say that obviously money does equate to happiness, because we're designed in society to keep worshipping and value money, trapped in this never-ending game of real-life monopoly. And at the same time, it's also understandable why there's a minority out there that say that money doesn't buy happiness. Both of these arguments are rooted in two perspectives. Now the majority of people who say that money obviously does equate to happiness, they speak from a place of scarcity as it pertains to money. The surface level simple-minded person on this side always argues, oh, so you'd rather be broke with no money? Or, oh, so you'd rather have $0 and be homeless, or 10 million in a mansion? You know, some dumbass argument like that. And on the opposing side, the small minority that say that money doesn't buy happiness speak from a place of lack of scarcity. They've had it, they've experienced it, and they realize once getting over to that side that it doesn't bring them happiness. In a general sense, they're both wrong. But if I had to pick, I would definitely lean more towards money doesn't buy happiness. I'll say 70 to 30. I mean, here's the thing, there are people who have achieved everything you can imagine and gotten everything they want. All the materialistic things as well as experiences that money could buy, lifestyle, whatever. Like the people who got to the very top of their careers, multimillionaires, like, you know, the people who live in expensive mansions, have expensive cars, have an exquisite lifestyle, just everything that equates to society's definition of success, right? People who have gotten all that and still killed themselves. And there are also kids in third world countries with absolutely nothing. I remember seeing videos and documentaries of this, like they don't even have clothes on their backs, hardly any food to eat, malnourished, ribs showing, like literally nothing. And I remember seeing a video, I wish I could find it, but these kids were playing in a puddle because it rained the week before, and I kid you not, the level of happiness on these kids' faces, like they were the happiest kids ever, having so much fun, with absolutely nothing but the company of each other, and this puddle in a hole they dug up. And honestly, things like that is so humbling. So why is this, right? That these two extreme scenarios completely destroy the argument that money equates to happiness. There's two things I want to address. The first thing is perspective. Everyone who believes money equals happiness speaks from a scarcity mentality instead of focusing on what they do have. You gotta understand that society and the world always conditions you to focus on all the stuff you don't have and tells you it's gonna make you happy. Again, it's actually why you'll never be happy or even begin to understand. And by the way, 99% of people saying, oh, it's easy to say money doesn't equal happiness when you're rich, are people who don't appreciate the food they eat every day, the clothes on their backs, and the roof over their heads. And that's on everything. However, here's the flip side. If you're broke, homeless, and starving, right? Again, which is the surface level argument most people use, then obviously you'd rather have money as opposed to no money. You wanna know what the problem with this argument is? 99% of those people making that argument are not homeless, broke, or going hungry. Oh, but what about the 1% that are? Here's the silver lining. Money is important or equates to happiness to the extent where your basic needs are met. Your basic needs being food and shelter, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And that's the truth, which a majority of the people in the world already have. You gotta understand that there was a point in time where most people hunted for their food and made their own shelter. Some people in the world still do. And I know you're gonna say, oh, but that's not the society we live in today. That is true, but the point of me saying this is the idea of money and wealth is an illusion created by society to keep people in this rat race, in order to keep people in this scarcity mindset, when in reality, they're completely fine but not grateful at all for what they have. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. When I came to this conclusion as it pertains to money and happiness and basic needs, I did some research to see if there's any statistical data to support this idea, and I came across a study done by Harvard University researchers who did a study on 4,000 millionaires to find the correlation between money and happiness. And it was actually found that the correlation between money and happiness from those that made 50,000 to 75,000 was greater than those that made 75,000 to 100,000, and that there was also an exponential drop-off between the correlation of money and happiness after $75,000. And it was also found that how you make your money has a huge impact as well. I mean, this one's just kinda obvious. It was also reported that those that gave away their money after reaching a certain threshold found more happiness than those that spent it on materialism. I mean, if you think about this, none of it is really surprising and for the most part confirm my beliefs. Granted, nothing is the end all be all. No research can truly guarantee, especially with a topic such as this. But that is the general sense. And listen, if you still assume the position money buys happiness regardless of what basic needs are being met, understand that what you're really chasing is a false idea of happiness that's rooted in materialism and superficial experiences. And it's not rooted in true happiness, rather your ego. It's your ego wanting materialistic things and superficial experiences because you care about the opinions of others. Let's theorycraft. Bro, if there was an apocalypse and close to nobody on Earth you have no one to appease to, you could give two shits about living in a fancy house and driving a fancy car or wearing designer brands, because there's no one for you to gain validation from. All you would care about is food and shelter, and that would make you happy. Your desire for wealth and riches isn't rooted in your desire for true happiness, rather it's rooted in the world and other people's perceptions of you. We as human beings and people are conditioned to want extravagant things because of the way it's perceived and how we think people will perceive us, and that's all it is. The reason why you see quote-unquote celebrities and famous people buy jewelry, fancy cars, designer clothes is because 1, they care about the world's opinion of them and they're insecure. Yeah, insecure. And 2, they want to constantly reinforce in their own minds that money makes them happy. That's why they will keep buying more jewelry, they'll keep flaunting their wealth, to continue to convince themselves that money is making them happy to fulfill a void. They want that validation those things bring, which is like a hit of dopamine, to feel worthy of their existence. I mean, it's kind of like an excuse to keep chasing money. I mean, it's common sense. Once you buy everything you ever wanted, you won't know what to do, so you go for bigger and better. I'll use Floyd Mayweather as an example. One of the greatest boxers of all time, 50-0, undefeated. He has hundreds of cars and a bunch of mansions. He's retired with hundreds of millions sitting in the bank. And he will continue to buy more cars and mansions and opening strip clubs. Why? In order to keep reinforcing the value of money he's created in his mind. It's also the reason why he loves attention so much, and also quite literally why he changed his middle name to Money. He seeks validation and attention that money brings. I'm pretty sure the one thing this guy loves more than money is attention. He loves money because of the attention it brings. He seeks validation through money. I mean, why do you think he loves to flaunt his wealth so much? If his money no longer has value and he has nothing left to buy, he'll no longer know what to do with his life. I really believe that this never-ending pursuit of wealth is why some people will never be happy. Cause money should be a byproduct of the goal, not the goal itself. When you want something, you tell yourself that you don't have it, but that's not how happiness works. Going back to the scarcity mindset, right? In reality, most people with that mindset have all they need, while the people who actually have nothing and are homeless and starving and have no one would kill to be in your position, and they'd be completely happy and never complain again with what you have. So what's our excuse? Happiness really does come from within and in moments. It's cliche but 100% true. I mean, just think back on some of your happiest moments in your life, and yeah, I'll speak for everyone. Like hanging out with friends or loved ones, getting something to eat on a night out, and everyone's having fun and the energy was just good and you wanted that moment to last forever. That's happiness. A lot of the happiness you're chasing is just rooted in those moments. But the world tells you to keep chasing it in the form of money. And that is why some people just never get it or understand. And it's also why, unfortunately, some people take their lives after getting to that point where they thought everything was going to be good, because they attached all their happiness to money. Money is important and equates to happiness to the extent where it covers your basic needs. Anyways, thanks for listening. If you liked the vid, leave a like, comment, or sub. And with that said, make sure you guys stay true. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Peace.